How's everybody doing?
Great.
How's everybody's summer? Short? You guys look shocked, like this is unusual to start it this way. Obviously very excited. I guess it's been 7 months since we arrived, and we've gotten a lot of work done in a short period of time, and excited to get going and working with these guys day in and day out. There's also a part of me that wished that we had another 7 months, because it's just one of those jobs, probably no different than your guys' job as well. There's always more that you wish you could do, and there's always more you wish you had more time. So we're excited. I think the staff's done a great job of preparing. The players have been unbelievable. You guys have heard me say this before. This spring, we had one of the strongest semesters we've ever had academically. The first term of summer school, we had the best term of summer school that Penn State's ever had. And one of the things that's a little bit challenging this year is the way the calendar fell. Usually, I guess there's been a week of school that has gone with camp. This year, the way the calendar fell, we actually have 2 weeks of school for the first 2 weeks of camp, which is going to be challenging as well. But we're excited. I'm looking forward to see all the progress that the players have made since spring ball ended, not only physically but also mentally, which is going to allow them to play fast. And then you're also excited to get out and watch the new guys that we've added to the program and see who looks like they're going to be able to figure in. So a lot of excitement, a lot of good things going on. I think we have 26 days until we open the season against Central Florida. Last night I addressed that with the team. It will be here before we know it for all of us. But that's really the last time we're talking about that. Our focus right now, we're kind of in a time period where our focus is on Penn State and becoming the best Penn State we possibly can be. And then there'll come a point in about 2 weeks during camp. Thank you very much. There'll come a point during camp, about 2 weeks in, where we will flip the switch and we'll start specific preparation for Central Florida. So really appreciate everybody coming out today. There must not have been a whole lot going on in the state today. We got great numbers, but once again, I can't tell you how much we appreciate everybody being here and supporting Penn State. You guys have been awesome since the day we've arrived, and we really truly appreciate your support. Open it up for any questions.
All right, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone to you.
Hey James, Mark Brennan of Fight On State. What's
Mark,
it been like
how are
to
you?
get What's it been like to get your family back with you? I know this is obviously a big day for you, but in terms of how your summer's gone, what was it like to finally get the wife and kids here?
Awesome. I was at the airport. I had 2 balloons, because you guys know I love balloons, right? Birthday parties and airport arrivals. So I was at the airport waiting for them to come, and it was funny because it was Friday, and Mike Jasicki was actually flying home for the weekend to see his family. And so I'm knocking through the glass at Mike, and my daughters are screaming, running down. And Mike Jasicki sent me a text. He said that was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Both executed really impressive form tackles. But that's been great. That's been great. It's really been strange because my wife and kids have been such a big part of our programs. The fact that none of these kids really know my daughters and none of these kids really know my wife is weird. Because my wife and kids are there every single day. Now, what was great was yesterday we were able to have 2 meals. We were able to have 2 meals with the players. They came and had lunch and dinner with us. My daughters love it. I wish I could spend more time with them, but what they wanted to do as soon as we got there to lunch and dinner, they didn't want to sit with us. Shola went and sat with one group of players. Addie went and sat with another group of players. And I love that. I love that. My wife loves it. I love it. It's awesome for our family, but I also think it's really important for our football team as well. They kind of get to see me in a different light, and I think that's important.
James, Jerry Fisher with WBLF Radio. Christian Hackenberg, reporter.
Is Dad here?
Yeah, he's back there somewhere. Wave, Brand.
You're sitting in a different seat.
Christian Hackenberg, a quarterback that's been in a system for a year at the collegiate level. You're a new coach, the new staff coming in. Is there an advantage to him not being so entrenched into the system, but still has a year under his belt that is an advantage to you when you come in?
Well, I think where the advantage comes is we run a similar system. So a lot of the concepts that he's been taught, there's a lot of carryover. We teach we teach in a form of concepts as well. So I think that's been really helpful. I actually think a lot of times it's difficult because when a young player has had a bunch of success, they've embraced that system and they know the system is part of their success. So it's difficult sometimes. But he's been great, and I think the parallels and the similarities between the way Billy does things and the way we do things has been really helpful. You know, the other thing that's exciting is talking to the players and talking to the strength staff. One of the most improved players on the team from spring ball to now has been Michael O'Connor. He's done extremely well. So I'm happy with him. As you guys know, we're trying to create competition at every position. But you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there and work with Hack and continue to help his development, just like all these guys.
James, Joe Giuliano, Philadelphia
Hey,
Inquirer.
how are you?
Good, thanks. How you doing?
Good.
Back to Hackenberg. What improvements would you like to see from him at the start of camp and as we generally proceed through camp to the first game?
You know, that's a great question, and we are looking for improvements from Hack. But I'm gonna be honest with you, where our focus really is all the pieces of the puzzle around Hack. You know, that's going to allow him to continue to develop, making sure that we're able to protect him with our offensive line, making sure that we're able to be balanced offensively and be able to run the ball with our offensive line, and tight ends having a huge impact in that as well. Finding some wide receivers to make up for the production we lost. All these things factor into it. So, you know, obviously I want him to be more and more confident so he can make really good decisions in terms of protecting the football, get the ball out of his hand as quickly as he possibly can. And what you like to see with a quarterback, I know in this system, is they get to a point where they feel like the defense can't be right. You know, that you understand the offense so well that if you play cover 2, wonderful, I'm going to attack the weakness here. If you go cover 3, I'm going here. You go man coverage, here's my man beater. You bring pressure, I'm either going to throw hot or I'm going to readjust the protection to pick it up. And when you get to a point where the quarterback feels like he has all those tools at his disposal, then the confidence skyrockets, and they feel like the defense can't be right. And that is unbelievably valuable. Our focus is on making sure that he's going to be able to do those things by getting all the rest of the pieces of the puzzle in place, if that makes sense.
Back. Coach Garrett Ross, York Dispatch.
Hey, Garrett.
So you've talked in the past about,
Hi, Garrett. How are you?
How are you?
Awesome.
You've talked in the past about, walk-ons earning scholarships. What does it take in your eyes for a walk-on to get to that point?
Well, I think the biggest thing is this. College education is expensive. It's expensive nowadays, all across this country. And when you're able to help a guy out, you help a guy out. A lot of times it may be based on the guy has earned it. Sometimes it may be that you have a scholarship available and you got a senior and you can help his family out. Rather than just letting that scholarship sit, you're gonna reward it to a guy that has earned it. But so it's not really one specific thing. There's a lot of factors and variables that go into it. There's no doubt about it. But so it's hard for me to necessarily answer that question because there's so many different situations that could make that play out. To me, that's a special part of the job, and that's a special part of college football. Is you got these guys that come here and they're chasing their dream and they're working like crazy. In our program, everybody's treated the same. Obviously, some guys are recruited on the front end a little bit differently than others, but once they're in the program, everybody has a right. Everybody has a right to go out and earn a spot. So, I think that's a unique deal, but it's hard for me to pin it down because there's so many variables and situations that go into it.